Before we proceed further, request you to please subscribe to our channel as shown above. Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. Today we will cover another important planetary transit. Uranus or Herschel is currently in the sign of Aries and he was retrograde till now. But on 18 January 2022, Uranus becomes direct in the sign of Aries within the Bharani nakshatra, and Uranus becoming direct has a great impact on the world. So let us analyze that impact in this video. Now when a planet is retrograde, that is when you observe the planet from the earth, it appears to be moving backwards. That planet makes us re-introspect or relook into certain aspects of our life and see if we can make certain improvements in our life. So when a planet is retrograde, the turmoil that is there, it is more of an internal turmoil. But when the planet becomes direct, situations manifest corresponding to the significations of that planet in the external world. And Uranus is one of the most outermost planet in the solar system. It is a planet which lies even beyond the orbit of Saturn. It is a planet which is nearly completely tilted on its own axis, and therefore Uranus also signifies eccentricity. It signifies sudden events. It signifies the space industry. Uranus also signifies revolutions. It signifies the auto industry. It signifies innovation and inventions. Those innovations that really change the life path. Now Uranus is within the Bharani nakshatra. And what does Bharani nakshatra signify? Bharani nakshatra is completely in the sign of Aries or Mesh, which is ruled by Mars. Bharani nakshatra is ruled by Venus or Shukra. So Bharani nakshatra has the qualities of both Shukra and Mangal, that is Venus and Mars. And therefore Bharani nakshatra has something to do with caring, with nurturing. It also has something to do with jealousy. People with Bharani nakshatra have big expressive eyes. They like to get into any situation without actually thinking about the impact. Since this nakshatra is ruled by Venus and Mars, this nakshatra has something to do with fertility and with the birthing process. So Bharani nakshatra refers to giving birth to something. Bharani nakshatra therefore signifies the pain one undergoes when giving birth to a child. Now what happens is, Uranus is in the Bharani nakshatra. So Uranus is influenced by the characteristics of the sign of Aries as well as the nakshatra of Bharani. And on 25th Jan 2022, Uranus moves into the second pada of Bharani nakshatra. The first pada of Bharani nakshatra corresponds to the Leo Navamsha, which is ruled by the Sun. And therefore, the first pada of Bharani nakshatra signifies self-centeredness. It signifies creative things. Now Uranus is moving into the second pada of Bharani nakshatra, which falls in the Virgo Navamsh, which is ruled by Mercury. And the second pada of Bharani nakshatra signifies hard work. It signifies working logically. It signifies working with our hands. And when a planet like Uranus moves into the second pada of Bharani nakshatra, it signifies new inventions. That is, this nakshatra will give birth to new inventions. It signifies the birthing of innovations, inventions which will revolutionize the world. Now, the last time Uranus was in Aries, it was in the year 1933. And when Uranus was in Aries at that time, Hitler gained power, and we all know what happened after that. Hitler gaining power around 1933 led to the events that followed up with the World War II and caused immense destruction. So, in short, Uranus also signifies revolutions and protests by the masses. At the same time, on the positive side, it signifies inventions and innovations. Now, the Bharani nakshatra represents the auto industry and the space industry, and therefore there will be lot of inventions in the auto industry and space industry which shall revolutionize the world. Now we know that Rahu is in the Kritika nakshatra portion in the sign of Taurus right now, and Rahu always moves in the retrograde direction. Uranus is now moving in the forward direction towards Rahu. So around April 12th, 2022, Rahu will cross the boundary of Taurus and enter into the Kritika nakshatra portion which lies in the sign of Aries. And that is when Uranus and Rahu will come together, and that will be a period of great innovations and great inventions in the world. But Kritika nakshatra also signifies fire. And so when Rahu comes close to Uranus, we can imagine that there will be lot of fire accidents. Uranus also indicates airplanes. So this is a time when there will be many aeroplane crashes in the world. But let's not worry about that right now. Let us focus on Uranus in Bharani. The nakshatra of Bharani is ruled by the deity Yama, and Yama is the god of death. Yama also gives us the fruits of our karmas which we have done in the present life, but he gives those fruits once we have died, in contrast to Shani, who gives us the fruits when we are alive. And therefore the nakshatra of Bharani has something to do with dharma, something to do with righteousness, something to do with rules. Now when Uranus enters the Bharani nakshatra, rules go for a toss. People will protest against the governments, and the government will be forced to listen to those people. So across the world, now because Uranus has become direct, the common man will protest against the government. Another reason for this is because you have Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, and the sign of Capricorn also represents the government and the economy. And Pluto also represents a transformation. Pluto represents breaking down the old structures and creating new structures through destruction which will improve the world. At this point you can see Uranus and Saturn are at 90 degrees with each other, that is Uranus is in square with Saturn, and therefore this signifies mass protests across the world. Aries is the sign of quick action. With Uranus in Aries, the impulsiveness is more to plunge into a situation and take action without thinking about the consequences. So this is a time when we have to consciously restrain ourselves from taking up some situation which will lead us into trouble. Now remember that the sign of Aries signifies new beginnings. It is ruled by Mars, and Mars also signifies land and property. Now when a planet like Uranus moves into the Bharani nakshatra, which is ruled by the god of death, the earth element is greatly impacted. That is, Uranus can bring about massive earthquakes, and that is a negative effect of this transit. So this transit of Uranus in the second pada of Bharani nakshatra starting 25th Jan 2022 is referring to the birthing of new inventions. At the same time, it is also laying the ground for revolutions and protests across various parts in the world against the government. So friends, now this is a time which will lead to new inventions, new innovations in the automobile and the space industry. It is also a time when there could be lot of violence and protests across the world. There could be earthquakes, there could be airplane crashes. Uranus represents sudden events. Earthquake is also a sudden event and aeroplane crash is also a sudden event. So this is the time of the year when we need to be careful and cognizant that such events may occur. So friends, this was my short analysis of Uranus becoming direct in the Bharani nakshatra starting 18 January 2022. So friends, if you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our channel Kamath Astrology, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button. For any consultations, email us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com and we'll be glad to assist you. You may also reach us through our website astroseva.tripod.com. So friends, thanks a lot. Bye. Take care and stay safe.